Hello everyone. This is Retro Star right here with another run. This time we're going to be doing a one coin clear for Famicom Disk System. This game is called Green Beret. This is not the Super Famicom. This is the Famicom Disk System that I'm playing off of. And we're going to be bringing you a 1cc run of Green Beret. This is your girl Retro Star coming at you again with another great run. As you can see, this looks exactly like the Russian attack. This is the Japanese, the Japanese Russian attack. This is Green Beret, the original. This is exactly besides the arcade. This absolutely came a year out before the Russian attack for the NES. This came out in 1987, and I did a run of the American Russian attack game. There's only a slight difference between the two. This is definitely on a more challenging. To me, this game is a little bit more challenging than the American version. There's a couple other things in that wasn't in the American version, which you're about to see probably on the second stage. But it's definitely got, the enemies are in different places. Sometimes they are definitely appear where they're not supposed to be, and it's just on another wavelength of challenge. Not by much though. It's still the same game, same graphics, same music, but a little, it's got a few touches to it that's different. You got to remember, this is the original, so this was actually dropped. A lot of the little touches that I'm talking about was dropped from the American version, and you will see that in the later stages. But right now, that was a pretty easy boss. Boss 1, we're getting ready to go to stage 2, and then you'll be able to, as you can see, this screen right here, your mission will destroy enemy secret weapon. You did not get that screen on the American version. And then, of course, the loading. This is the Famicom Disk System. This is the original format of the Green Beret, even different than the Super Famicom cartridge version. As you can see, it's the same game. It's pretty much look the same. Just a few other things that are different. This one definitely has less jumpers than the stage, and this was what I was talking about. This is the underground stage. That was not in the American version. It was dropped from the American version, which I don't understand why it was, because I seriously think it's badass. These underground passages do get brutal with every stage, so sometimes it's probably better just to go on the top, because it gets pretty hard down there. Unless you just want a challenge. If you want a challenge, then go underground. Sometimes it'll put you ahead, and sometimes it'll put you behind. So you got to know which one to go to, and if you want to take the risk to go down there to meet all the jumpers and the yellow gunner guys. So as you can see, that's the end of that. Wasn't too bad. That one wasn't too bad. So as you can see, it put me right at the end of the stage, which I am right at the boss right now. Which I would have had to go through the entire stage without going through there, and it was just basically a shortcut, and it was definitely easier than the top. And this is the stage 2 boss. I call him the Rocketeer guys. Pretty easy. Take him out with one stab. Really easy. And this is the part right here. Is definitely in the American version. And this screen right here, this one is not. Your mission: destroy enemy secret weapon. Good luck. Loading. Okay, we're on stage 3. And I'm about to mention, they do give you more. They do give you more weapons. Look at all those weapons. There's one weapon up there. There's a star. There's another weapon right there. And they also allow you to keep the weapons, even when you're finished with the other weapon. You can carry 2 weapons at a time. You can't do that in the American version. You can't do that in the American version. You can carry a grenade and a grenade launcher at the same time. And you see you got more jumpers here. The jumpers can be a problem, especially when you have a cluster of them with enemies that can get you from the ground. You get more grenades, you get more rocket launchers, you get more weapons than the American version, which is another difference that I saw. Yes, I've done several runs of this game of Deathless. I've done the arcade Green Beret, which is the original. It came out in 1985. It's the absolute original Green Beret arcade. In 1985, did a Deathless run of that. So this is the disc version of Green Beret. That came out in 1987, and definitely look a lot similar to the Russian attack version. Just a few more slight touches to it. Alright, we're getting ready to get to the stage 3 boss, which is my favorite. The Huskies. I guess you can say dogs, but I think they're Huskies. They look like Huskies. That's coming at you. I love dogs, but I'm gonna, if a dog's coming at me, I'm definitely going to defend myself. I'm not going to allow the dog to kill me. So, off with your head, dog. I actually discovered that you can stand up and stab the dogs. You don't have to get down on the ground to stab the dogs, which is a lot easier than getting down and stabbing. Okay, we finished stage 3. We're getting ready to enter stage 4, which stage 4 has always been... No, actually, stage 4 has been okay. On the arcade version, stage 4 was bad. I hated stage 4 on the arcade version. But stage 5, I got a bone to pick with stage 5 in this version, which we'll be going to next. Okay, this is stage 4. This is where you face all of the grenade launcher guys, and plus face the jumpers and the yellow guys, that gunners that pose a big threat. Now the jumpers are not a threat by themselves. You can always run under them, but when they are with the gunners, the yellow gunner guys, they're a huge threat. As you can see, I played this carefully and inched my way forward because I don't know what's coming next. You gotta remember, this is not the American version, and they randomly throw things at you, so you have to be prepared for what's coming at you. If you don't see what's coming, it will get you. This is the reason why this is a 1cc and not a Deathless run. Okay, going up the stairs. See, they absolutely give you more weapons in this. There was another guy down there. Two of those gunner guys, which are a huge threat in the game. More of a threat than the jumpers, because they can shoot you with one shot, with one bullet. Not even being there, but from a distance. So they're dangerous. So you got to be careful not to hit the landmines. Now this part, you have to be careful because you got a jumper and a gun guy coming at you. So I have to inch my way forward to sort of see where they're at so that I can avoid them. And I had a grenade ready for them. So you got to plan ahead on this version, because if you don't plan ahead, you will get hit with things that you did not expect to see, and you're thinking you're playing the American version of the game, and you're not. And I almost died right there. You see that? Almost. All I had to do was land it on that guy and get shot by the bullet. The jumper guys are no problem. You just gotta know how to run under them and make sure they don't touch you. Okay, we're at the stage 4 boss. Boss is really easy. The bosses in these games are very, very, very simple, and you can usually take them out with one stab. Yeah, but you usually have multiple, and you just hit the multiple bosses once with your knife, and you're good. So it only takes one step. Ow. Look at that. Kind of fucked up right there. What the fuck? As you can see there, that was extremely senseless death there. I cannot believe that I died on right after I killed the boss and just got careless. This is where my no death run ended, right there on a place that wasn't even hard, which is a senseless death. And this is what happens when I guess, I don't know if I let my guard down or maybe I got nervous, but you know what I'm saying, those guys usually don't run around like that after you kill the boss. After you kill the boss, you stab like 1 or 2 guys and they don't keep running like that. So this is what I'm saying, this right here is different in that way than the American version. So you have to prepare for other things, to like enemies to pop up that was not there before. So I guess I was caught totally off guard, and that's how I lost out on my no death run, making this an automatic 1cc. But I love the run, so I continue to keep going, because usually I'm all for deathless runs. But this is a nice little run here, and I'll take the 1cc, but I'm definitely still going to do a deathless run, definitely. So stay tuned for that. That's coming. I'm definitely going to do the no death run of this. I'm not going to stop until I get that no death run, and I'll put it in right in behind this. Your girl Retro Star, it's never going to back down when it comes to games. Any game I want a no death run, I'm going to no death run, and I'm not going to back down, and definitely not going to settle for a 1cc. Only reason I'm posting this is because I thought it would be something different to do, and I absolutely love the performance. I love this run, so I thought I'd keep it instead of just trash it, because usually I would just delete it. So, but we're gonna come right in behind with a deathless run, which I always do. As you can see, this is we're on stage 5, and right there I think I have the chance to go down to the underground bunker. But you got to remember, when you're going under there, you're going to face challenges that you don't face on the top. So all of this I'm going through up here is going to be 5 times harder down there. So that's another thing that could possibly put a stop to the 1cc if I let it. So now I'm being very cautious since I got that death. I don't trust anything anymore. Now I am cautious about moving forward because I don't know what's coming at me. As you can see, there's a runner guy come trying to get me, and all of a sudden he just runs off the screen and disappears. So you got to be prepared that since you didn't kill him, he might come back and shoot you. So he just he would have basically been tagged along with that jumper, and when they're with the jumper, it's very dangerous. Sometimes, most all the time, you will guarantee a death if there was a jumper behind the gunner guy. So as you can see, we're approaching level 5 boss, and we're gonna run on the see how you can just run under the jumpers, and they was trying to set me up there by putting that enemy there. I could have ran right into him. And with this boss, you have to be very careful. You got to know where to send the bullet, where to either have the grenade, jump up, or do something to sort of get the bullets to going in another direction and get down, and don't let the bullets hit you, or you know what, off with your head. So we're approaching the level 6, which is the last stage. This is the absolute last stage in the game. One of my favorite stages. I don't think there's an underground on this stage though. So, and I think they give you more jumpers even than the American version. They give you more jumpers on it. You see how the jumpers are just coming out at me? They're very aggressive in the stage, and you're going to see why that this is a 1cc, because I absolutely did not expect so many jumpers to come out, because in the American version there's not that many jumpers. But you got to remember, this is not the American game, and they're gonna go hard. This is the original game on the disc system. Okay, another jumper. This is not the arcade. The arcade is much more brutal. But this is our 8-bit version. This is the original of the 8-bit version, not the arcade. The arcade is the absolute original, but this is the original of the 8-bit version. Besides the Super Famicom and the NES. Look at all the jumpers.
Oh, they almost got me right there.
Yeah, they're going out hard. They're going out hard with this. Wait for it. Wait. It's coming up, I think. I think it's coming up along some way, so I have to make sure that I know when it's coming.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the fuck is wrong with you?
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is death number 2. Absolutely, as you can see, I got swarmed with the guys there. There's absolutely not this many dudes in the American version, and just died on very senseless areas though. Just absolutely not expecting the enemies to be where they're at. So that's exactly how the deaths happen. It won't happen again. Once I do my next stage, I'll know my next run stage. Once I do my next run, it'll absolutely be a difference. Now we're here at the boss fight. As you can see, look how difficult this is. This is much more difficult than the American version. In the American version, it only had jumpers coming in one direction. This right here has jumpers coming into. You have jumpers coming from behind you and coming in front of you, and they're coming in groves. You see my technique that I'm using? Absolutely preventing me from getting swarmed by the jumpers, and plus the enemies right behind them. Stab, go to the stab a couple times. Go, pick up the rocket launcher, shoot, jump, hit the jumper, get the enemies, and repeat performance until the missile destroys. And the missile even more hits than it did in the American version. It takes a lot more hits. Look how intense this is. Try this and see how much difference it is than Russian attack. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Japanese, aka Russian attack, Green Beret, which is absolutely the original title for this game. Russian attack is just the American title. That's it. This wasn't a deathless run, but it was actually a really good run, and was glad to share this with you. I've been talking about in the past that I was going to do a Green Beret no death run. This is just the beginning of that. This is a 1cc. Those 2 deaths that I suffered there, it's definitely not going to happen in the next run, and we're going to come back strong with the deathless run of Green Beret, the original Russian attack. I grew up with Russian attack, so it basically is Russian attack, guys. No, for me, but it's actually originally Green Beret. As you can say, you can't take that from it. Green Beret of 1987, the Famicom disk system, not Super Famicom or Famicom. Super Famicom would be the Japanese version of Super Nintendo. The Famicom would absolutely be the Japanese version of the NES for the Americans. This is actually the one before that. And great game, still a great game. I actually like this version a little bit better because it's a more intense challenge. It's got the underground stage, which I like. I'm definitely going to have to practice in the underground stages, so I could show you maybe in a deathless run more of the underground stages and how hard it gets. It's just that it's just a huge risk at doing that, because I could get hit unexpectedly by either a jumper or one of the gun guys, and it don't end my no death run. But I'll try not to let that happen. I'll try to put a no death run on the priority list though. So I'm gonna try to keep myself safe as possible so that I can deliver that no death that I want to deliver, and I'm not gonna stop until I deliver that no death. So, but this is one of my favorite games of all time. Which, you know, I consider this Russian Attack because it basically it's just a Japanese original version, but I grew up playing Russian Attack and I absolutely love it. I have about 2 or 3 plays on my channel of Russian Attack and Green Beret for the arcade, which is the original. And these are just imitating the arcade on the 8-bit systems. So great game, still a lot of fun. I like this version better though. Let's just be real. This is just, to me, this one's better. It's much better. The challenge is better. It's much more. Not much more, but it's a little bit more challenging. Definitely that end boss blows the American version out of the water as far as challenge, because the American version is just easy. The American version boss is just pretty simple. It's just the rocket launcher going into the missile, and it doesn't take that many hits. But this version I like better, but still love all the games. So this is your girl Retro Star with a 1cc clear, 1 credit clear of Green Beret from 1987. And keep it fucking retro, everyone. See you and good night.